this map as, of course. And I mean, you have to kind of look at Clubhouse and how both these teams are expected to do. I think Unlimited, after what they done against Wild earlier this weekend, they're a team that I really do fancy just to play it simple, play it basic, and get really good results out of it. I think tonight Mkers have been the team for me, which has been a little bit too gung-ho at times. And it's almost been Mkers have played themselves more so than Unlimited. I think, you know, we're not trying to discredit Unlimited, but it does feel as though Mkers are the ones who make more of the mistakes and hinder their own performance.
Mkers, there's been a bit more reliance on that hero play. There's been a little bit more reliance on that single player stepping up. We saw a bad team performance from Unlimited on Bank, whereas we saw a good team performance from Mkers, but a better individual performance from Gemini. And you just wonder how that's going to translate now into Clubhouse. Obviously, Clubhouse, a map that both of these two teams have played countless times, a map that Unlimited have done very well on in the past. Getting the better of 10-star here all the way back in week number 1, played in number 1. Yet now they start off on the attack. Mkers start off on the defense. If there's one thing that we do know, Demo, neither team is going to be leaving anything on the sidelines tonight.
I mean, if they do, I don't know why. What are they hiding? You're out if you lose this. And also, even if whoever wins it, again, like, you have to remember, Ollie, after this game, new update on Tuesday.
True.
New meta on Tuesday. There is going to be massive changes, massive swings. Everything you've got in the locker, get it out. Everything in the Google Drive, get it out. Everything. You're not hiding it no longer, you don't need it.
Because it's all about to change. Any 1 speeds?
Oh, there'll be a...
Yes, Mute. Yes, Sledge.
Thatcher 1 speed.
It's going to be so weird to even play Sledge.
Echo 2 speed. Echo 2 speed, madness that. Absolute madness. Well, look at this from Mkers. We have the extension hold where it is a basement, but as you can see, everybody is out and about on the roam game, and Aqui straight away has been punished. What? Oh, look, I've been there. I've been there a few times where you think, oh, I'll quickly go into garage, shoot some drones. Maybe if someone tries to crouch walk in, I'll kill them, and then as you jump over, you get caught in the window.
This feels a bit rookie, doesn't it?
I've been there.
Just feels a little bit rookie. Unlimited, a dangerous team when things go their way in that opening, and they are good at getting the opening. Aside from that opening pick, they've also managed to clear out the top floor, although they may not know it for the time being, as they just complete a little bit more drone work up here. But the top floor is entirely theirs for the taking. There's only Sorry left on the site. Now, he has got a fair bit of utility kicking around. He's got some Vulcan canisters and whatnot, and with the hatch open inside a bar and stock, there is option for him to drop back and for his teammates to rejoin him. That's exactly what Dora's going to do, but not before he takes Rorik down.
So Unlimited, already half your time gone, but shouldn't be too much of an issue. Remember that for these types of hold, Ollie, that generally means that the hatches are already open, so you don't have to go through the painstaking selection of having to open up the hatches. They're already there, done for you. Now this is what worries me, and this for me is the make or break for Unlimited, and right now, Ollie, it's breaking.
Lolo's hiding out there. Gemini is there to assist. IWY! Really? It's the UMP, it's the worst gun in the game, and he still loses the heads-up engagement. The round is in tatters for Unlimited. They haven't achieved much at all here, Demo. They got the opening pick, they managed to clear top floor, and since then, nothing. Hypex, what are you going to do? You're going to drop Moto Hatch? There's still roamers, there's still people knocking about upstairs. Army, he's going to open the long angle on kitchen corridor, looking down into showers, but no one's going to give themselves away. Nobody needs to. Hypex You can hold underneath the castle barricade for as long as you like, but you know that those players are going to drop and hurt you at a later point. Hypex immediately gets taken out in the site. Army is there to trade, but he's 1 versus 3. It's a 1 versus 1 on the site. There are 2 players off, but he's not looking in the right direction. Dora from underneath the hatch sees to it that he is sent to the cameras along with the rest of his team. A worrying round for round number 1. Where was the structure demo? Where was the plan?
Beats me. 2 players in the strip, drone work not being done. My goodness.
At the point where you ban the Hibana as well, at the point where Dunlimited bans the Hibana, they know that they're not going to get kitchen very easily. That means that you need to be going for blue and moto and main stairs and triple wall. These are the areas that you need to be focusing on. There was no focus. If you know that the Hibana's banned, you know you're not getting kitchen. You can just say goodbye to kitchen. The funny thing is, they probably could have got it because they brought secondary hard breach gadget, they brought ace, and they brought thermite.
If you're a team approaching a room, right, and here's the thing about the roam game, is it's always going to force you into attack it, no matter what. Everyone knows that if you try and just ignore a roam game in Clubhouse, it's not going to work. Because there's too many angles. There's too many vertical angles you can gain. Because if you actually think about it, I suppose you could get away with going for a kitchen dirt while ignoring the whole roam game. But then again, what's to stop players going above the kitchen hatch? What's to stop them rotating down at a later stage and having bar control, making these long angles out? There's going to be a lot of issues. And even just pushing kitchen dirt can also be a tricky push just in its whole. So I think as attacking side, you're always going to push the roamers. You're always going to do it. And it just comes down to Unlimited struggled with just a simple clear.
Which is funny, given that they got the opening kill. And they had all that control quite early on. It just took them a long time to get it. The drone work hasn't been as good as it has been for Unlimited, and that's a good example of it. That's unfortunate timing, and amongst other things, Army is going to find one back. Nice little angle there on the rappel. A couple of nades getting sent through. Hypex already inside of Jim, and the cross being held. Army has the diffuser though, and Nordwin, he's going to be pushing himself through the site as well. A little bit of a cursory glance toward those main stair. Maybe feels like he's being spotted. There is still going to be a player below demo, and 2 C4s in pocket. Gemini playing down inside of the showers. He's going to see to it that the downstairs is covered as long as Dora is able to hold on to this top floor, which he's doing quite nicely so far. A little shotgun blast is going to be enough to take Nordwin down. Hypex still struggling to find out whatever it is that's spotting him. We'll have to throw out an EMP to disable it for the time being. There is still information though, and there is still a player below, and that's going to be a main concern. Army knows that. He's not in position to do too much about things right now. Lolo just hanging out inside of construction. And with Army falling, that goes the diffuser as well. And what looked like a hopeful quick push has turned into nothing more than a slugfest. Dora, another kill with the shotgun at close range there inside of logistics. And well, Demo, a very clean-cut round from Makers. This is looking like it could be a fairly quick evening.
Unlimited did the exact same thing against Wild the other day. Doesn't work this time against Makers. They're they're a more regimental side compared to Wild. Wild sometimes lose the structure a bit. I think Makers, they're all one unit. You can see that. They all have almost the same brain the way that they play the siege. And that's, moments like that isn't going to work. And not only that, like, think about the positioning. The player who rushes into Jim is the one without diffuser. They were in sight, sure, for a good portion of the round, but if the diffuser doesn't get planted, it really means nothing.
It was strange, wasn't it? It was strange indeed. Do you think that we've got to the bottom of the strat book for Unlimited, and they're just churning out? It's like when a good sort of band or a good pop group, they have a couple of good years, and then the rest of their life is just touring the old days. Such classics as Take Top Floor.
Coming at you with hits such as Bathroom Rush. Or who can forget everyone's favourite, Crouch Walk Down Main Stairs.
The #1 bestseller, Kitchen Dirt. Maybe that's what we've got to.
We want, this is always the worry with Unlimited. was they do keep it basic, they do keep it simple, and they do it very, very well. But I don't think we've ever approached the situation where, what if they come against a team who knows what they're doing?
Yeah. What happens when they get hard countered?
Yeah.
Where's the adaptation?
Yeah.
Mkers certainly know what to set up for here, and it looks as though they know how long to hold it for as well. They've dipped out of cash. Happy with the progress they've made in the first minute. Don't forget, this is a bar defense. Top floor is the most crucial zone to hold for this defense. It's the most crucial zone to attack onto as well. There's no way of getting the plant down if people are holding up above. And usually, there's a lot of information kicking around as well. Sorry, just giving us a bit of a tour of his Maestro cameras there. We've got some Valkyrie cams knocking around as well. All of which does a great deal to slow down this attacking push.
Plenty of info. A lot of roamers still above, holding firm, and this is how you play it. Using the vertical angles, using the information, it means that nobody can plant inside of the site. So therefore, Unlimited, they will have to clear above. They will have to attack into construction. Have to get that single wall open first, and I think they've done that. I heard the Selma charge go off alongside the EMP grenade, and yep, I think the single wall is going to be open now. So the whole thing with the whole process now for Mkers is they're going to have to try and retake somewhat, right? They're going to have to try and retake the hatch, because the hatch is the end-all and be-all. That hatch covers majority of the plant spots that you want to try and get yourself into. So Mkers are going to have to try and retake that. It's not going to be an easy job. They're trying to maybe go for the picks of the players outside. That was a risky one from the castle, and IWI has found him. I'm interested in the Valkyrie. Where on earth has Akwi got himself into? Ollie, he's in garage.
Oh, he missed a freebie.
This is danger, man.
Could be quite big there. He has to try and transition and make this work. Is going to get taken out there. Only into a down, but not outstate, and not before he gets the frag onto Hypex.
Retake.
Kills now starting to come in for Unlimited, as Nordwin will finish off Akwi further in that advantage. But Demo, look at the time. 15 seconds left. You've still not got top floor. This can still be held from above. What a shot from Rorik. Pinning Lolo to the deck. Sorry,
Info.
keeping his team in it. There must be information on this, but IWI comes out of nowhere. Flies up main stairs, straight through pre-fires construction hatch. Unlimited, they left it to the final second, but somehow they made it look planned.
No, they dealt well with the retake, and you knew that was going to come in from Mkers. It was their only option was to retake that hatch. Hatch is king. Mkers just getting caught out. I mean, I like the idea of using the Valkyrie to almost create a distraction, while the other two then just burst in through cash. I like that idea, because if you know somebody's in garage, we seen the ace for a period actually left his position, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
But wasn't meant to be.
2-1. It's good that Unlimited were able to pick a round up there. I was getting a little bit worried, I'll be honest. I'm glad that they've picked one up in bar. It is, of course, the third choice site. We aren't going to see CCTV today, or at least I highly doubt that we will. There's only one team that's taken us there, Demo, and they're no longer here. So, most likely going to flick between church, gym, and bar.
Still looking good for Mkers, though, to get a 4-2 half.
Not looking too bad. There needs to be a real big shift here in how we see Unlimited attack. I'd like to see them move a little bit quicker. I'd like to see them take that top floor and use that drone work that we've praised them for.
Minor few changes to the setup for Mkers. So they are going to extend, they are going to roam. However, they sacked off the castle and they've actually reinforced the majority of the hatches. So they haven't left them soft, which is one thing that we pointed out last time. And they've also brought in the Kide. If at some point we see a Thatcher die, I think the round's done. And I think that's great insight, I think, for Mkers, is knowing that Unlimited are always going to try and clear. If you are to challenge and you are to kind of play that, if I'm staying here, if I get a kill, I get a kill. If I die, I die, right? Which is, I think, what we've seen from Mkers has been that mentality. If you find the Thatcher, that is the key.
Hypex has got an important job to keep himself alive. Seen a couple of walls already opened. That's going to be the majority, if not all, of Thermite's utility, as both of those are going to be exothermic holes.
Early drop, has to be said. You know, only a minute wasted.
Not a lot of time and not a great deal of util. They've managed to pick off a couple of drones, which of course is always good. But Unlimited have got that roam cleared done quite cheaply. Now I've got the small problem of these Electroclaws. One of the saving graces that Unlimited have got, and maybe they're not privy to this knowledge, is but there's no impacts. There's 3 C4s, which is going to be a problem. I would doubt we see Kitchen Hatch approached.
Think, oh yeah, no impacts, guys, but 3 C4s, yeah.
But you might have a chance there at using the ace to open up that Kitchen Hatch if that's where you're going to go. But I would expect... Oh dear, a blunder.
Goodness
well,
me.
Fortunately, we can see that Kai isn't underneath to make anything happen there, but there is going to be a Yokai drone.
Triple wall church take, that is where we're at. Ace is still alive, which is really strong, and there's nothing on the triple wall. Ace, get yourself down, get that wall open, and honestly, Mkers, they're going to find it difficult. Very, very difficult. Whenever you know that you're up against a triple wall take, the best place to probably be as a defender is probably in the back of armory, because if you know they're not going for kitchen, you probably think, oh, well, I can sit underneath kitchen hatch. But no, Unlimited have brought in the back. They've opened up the back of kitchen. They've got pretty much everything under wraps.
Hypex is going to find himself an important kill there onto Gemini. I'm not sure if Nordwin is aware that somebody is going to be inside of blue, but it's Dora from Dirt Tunnel he needs to be concerned with. Picks himself one, IWI a second. Army, he's got the kit, he's going to have time maybe to revive Hypex, but Sorry is going to be on the swing. Is he going to catch them both lacking?
Wow.
Yes, he does! Caught in the reload, Diffuser dropped to the ground. 2 versus 2, 10 seconds left. Rorik comes in attempt to save the day. Lolo, you've just got to keep yourself alive. The Diffuser, it is going to start to go down. There was a Yokai drone knocking around. Is he going to try and pre-fire through? There are holes that are going to work. One on the other side of the barricade. One on the same. Lolo picks one. He's got to hit the reload. Rorik's doing the same. This is tense stuff right here. Rorik comes out better. What a tight round, Demo. Not a lot in that at all. Mistakes galore, but exciting siege. Unlimited. They level things up here. That's going to mean a lot.
Back and forth, back and forth. Could have went either way. Could have easily went either way. 2-2, Unlimited back in the game. We needed that. Kept it basic. Early clear out of the roamers, I think, was probably an issue for Mkers. I think the fact that they gave up so much for such little time is a bit of a surprise. There wasn't even a bullet fired, I don't think.
No. It was just simply Jacuzzi wall, east wall, done. Why are we here?
Well, it's always a good question. You know, why are we as a civilization forced to...
No.
Okay. Oh.
Why are we in CCTV room?
Yeah, it's fun.
It's not fun. It's not fun at all. As Army's banned, there's no double French.
5 seconds left.
I would have thought we'd see Mkers give it another go over in gym.
Like the pickups from Unlimited, Capitao and Monty, 2 staples in these cash rooms attacks. Very, very strong with clearing out garage, of course, and if you're bringing those 2 operators, you are pushing garage. That is a must. Yeah, it's risky, I think, for Mkers to go here, considering that it's an Azami ban. Azami, as we know, is so strong at holding catwalk. You can block up the open panels, and it just makes that catwalk just a brick wall that you're not getting through anytime soon. However, Wamai being chosen is going to be a minor thing that they have to try and get through. Capitao cannot just flex those arrows as freely as what he would want to. So they have to get plenty of burn, and they only have, what, 4 smokes there, Ollie, unless they're willing to sacrifice some of the EMP grenades?
Yeah, this is really about timing, and it looks as though IWI is going to instead be going for the kill here to achieve that time, and he's taking a little bit of damage. Not an easy battle to do this. You're relying on the coordination between your Monty player and you, and well, Gemini feels fairly confident to keep peeking up through that for the time being.
Is main wall open? Yeah, I don't think it is. And as soon as main wall gets open, then the pressure happens onto the Wamai, and it will be opened up. Sophia moving in with the Sophia stuns, being able to get the band off the trick, and the wall's opened up. However, I do worry. Let me see Nordwin's point of view. Does he have a good line of sight onto Gemini? That's the question. not the best. He can't really swing from the window. He doesn't have the window angle open to him, so that does make things a little bit tricky. The only way that Gemini's going to lose his life is if he walks back into 90, which is very unlikely.
Well, we're starting to see some of this burn come through now. There is going to be a yokai drone that's been moved into garage to assist Gemini in holding on. That. We are now starting to see the fire arrows go through. Nordwind sees some success from that main breach. Akwi forced into moving, but Gemini stuck himself into the corner. 2 versus 2. Lolo inside of construction. Doro making his way into cash room as well. Lost one yokai drone, but still has another. These got some miles on them, these yokai drones. They've been all over the gaff. Army and Hypex now have to try and coordinate both, gathering a little bit of information in the drone. They're not really buddied up at the minute. Hypex is going to make his way up garage. There is going to be a yokai in for the site as well.
Most important, a C4 still remains with Lolo, and that could be the game changer. He's going to use the information from the echo and then drop below for a guaranteed kill. There's no point trying to go for the long distance throw and maybe miss, maybe get shot. Go for the surefire denial from below.
Well, this is where it needs to come through. Baited out almost perfectly, but Doro is going to find one onto Hypex in the meantime. Army has to push through aggressively and pick the kill. He can now hop up onto the thing and get the plant down, but no, instead thinks about going for the kill. If the player was to push up cash stairs, Lolo, he's caught inside of... He doesn't know what to do. He's pushing pillar, pushing post. He's actually allowed him to get it down. This is hella dangerous, Army! You can't get away with that! Oh no, Lolo! Somebody that has played so well, so consistently for Mkers. What a blunder! You could see him, he didn't know which way to turn downstairs. Do I go up? Do I stay down? Is it a bait? Is it a switch? He made him look like a rookie.
You sound stressed. Is everything okay? Is your blood pressure well?
Defenders, protect your
We've often talked about this, haven't we? Like heartbeat monitor on the cast.
Right. Look, let me be real. It wasn't bad from Dora until I seen him not just shotgun him from below. It's all right hiding in stock. That's fine. You have 2 options. You sit in the bottom red stairs, rush up red stairs.
It was Lolo that was below, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Lolo below. He has choice red stairs, push up, kill him, use the information. Of course, a little bit risky because then you're putting yourself down to a gunfight, which we've seen it sometimes. You get pre-fire running up red stairs, or you sit in stock and you shotgun him below. And I look at that and I think, you've sat in stock, you have clear information. There was info. There was clear pings coming in.
There was a bulletproof.
Why has he not just shotgun him below?
There was a bulletproof inside of cash.
It's like he's committed to one and then he's changed last moment, but then he doesn't have time. Very confusing.
That could be the confidence that Dunlimited need here. Hypex going to kick off round 6 with an opening pick as well. And all of a sudden, it looks like a 4-2 split is on the cards. Now, let's not get too ahead of ourselves because they've still got to attack into gym and bedroom, which they didn't successfully do last time.
Just felt like a cluster of comms last round. Even like that premature C4.
Yeah.
Why not wait until he's...
Why not wait until there's no time left?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have so much info. I don't know. Bad round for Mkers. Bad round.
That's all it takes, though. One bad round.
Yeah, they need to wait.
Give the other team, give your opponent a bit of an in, and Unlimited have definitely had that in now. Even if they come out 3-3, I think they'll be fairly pleased, especially with how this game started off.
I said it was looking good for a 4-2 for Mkers.
It was at a time. Oh, this could be a freebie here. Has Gemini got the angle, though, or is actually going to get caught out?
No, you have to jump out the window to get the angle. And that's not the easiest thing to do.
I thought that was just space. You know, just got to run up to the window and click space.
Well, no, but jumping through that, the thing is you can get shot, and also, if you try to get a kill through those grates, well,
they are bulletproof.
Annoying.
It's well known that they are bulletproof.
You know,
it's what they make Kevlar out of.
It's annoying.
Gemini must feel like he's getting hunted here inside the bar.
I mean, he certainly is. I think that's a definite. We know how thorough Unlimited are in their hunting capabilities of these roamers. Sorry, really getting good value out of the 10-second rule that you have with the Echo cameras. There's your spacebar, Ollie. This time, a little bit more favourable, because that is going to be an easy kill. It's not on the other side of garage. You have to shoot through the bars. It is straight to the point. Patience is a virtue, my friend. You would have been dead if that was you a few seconds ago.
It really is, and I'm surprised that Unlimited hung around there because they know that the yokai drone gets played out of that drone hole. They know that that's something that Mkers like to do, and they've sort of just waited for it to happen to them. It has only leveled things up, so there's still an advantage here for, or still an opportunity, should I say, for Dunlimited. Bit of a ropey nade from
Rush
IWI.
bathroom.
He's just going to go with another one. Army, you say rush bathroom, he's found himself a kill. He's got himself tucked into showers now. There are, however, a couple of players below, and one of them has a C4. Gemini, how much info do you have this time, and are you going to wait for the opportune moment? This plant is almost down here. You may be going to get a kill, but it's not going to be onto the planter. Hypex is down, but the plant has been stuck. You maybe get yourself outside here, sorry, if you're lucky, but he's almost certainly going to get himself into an engagement. IWI from Jacuzzi Balcony. Gemini gets the call, but he too will fall. Line him up, he'll knock him down.
Seen the shake of the head. They're not happy with that round because they defended that push really well previously in that site. And this time, now it works.
Well, guess what was different? Army had the diffuser.
Even still, it was the same kind of idea.
Timeout for Makers, no surprise. Couple of rounds really not going their way.
I can't believe I said 4-2 for Mkers.
You are lost.
I'm not.
Lost and tired.
I'm not lost.
Well, Makers certainly lost it toward the end of that round. Or the end of that split, should we say.
Yeah, those last 2 rounds,
It's pretty terrible.
That last round was convincing.
Honestly, I think the CCTV Cash room was a tilter. An absolute tilter.
Well, they've called the timeout at the side switch.
Which would indicate that there is other things going wrong other than just gameplay.
I mean, we're missing a play. Look at the bottom middle.
Acqui?
He's invisible. Where is he?
Maybe he's
He's gone.
I don't know.
Oh,
He's back.
he's back.
He's back.
That's right. That's an M&M classic. User needs the toilet. Call a timeout.
If you gotta go, you gotta go.
Happens all the time. You don't hear it during the comms. Guys, we need a timeout. I need to go to the toilet. He does it all the time. Honestly, I've never seen a man who needs it more than him.
Is the timeout going to end? I thought the bar at the top was like an indication of how long it had left.
It's a myth.
Is that just
It's a myth.
Is that just a loading error?
Give me another clue.
They're not playing tonight?
Did they play yesterday?
Yes.
Deadshot.
Yes.
What do you mean I don't mention his name?
You always call him the disciple.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
That was that good of a game.
Your game show. Leave me with the game shows.
Well, it got us through the rehost
Right?
demo.
Leave me with the game shows.
It got us through, so we're all right. 4-2.
Joker.
Dunlimited. A good switch, or a good side swap. Make no mistake, we were not expecting this to go 4-2 Dunlimited. At one point, Demo even said it could go 4-2 Makers. And look how the turns have tabled, hey?
Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing at you. We all say silly things. We probably say more silly things than most, given that we have to talk.
I don't say silly things.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
5 seconds left.
What would you like to see here from Makers Demo? Is it a fuse?
Attackers must locate.
Is that what you'd like to see?
It's a few.
Because that's what you're going to get.
Oh, Jesus wept.
3 C4s.
I was not expecting the fuse. Right.
Hibana's banned.
I've seen fuse a few times. And... right. I'm just going to get out here. I think fuse is just not very good. The reason being is he's a 1-speed. And that's always going to hinder him. It's always going to hinder him.
It is. Do you think that Fuse will be good next season when a lot of other people are 1-speeds?
No, because he's still a 1-speed.
But a lot of other people are going to be 1-speeds.
I get that, but nobody's playing those operators then.
That's true.
I don't like... maybe it's just me, personal preference, as me playing the game. Obviously, that's always going to affect how me and you see it, is just from our experience, but I just don't like playing 1-speeds, unless they're Doc and they're in a Rick skin. That's the only time.
And they're in what?
A Rick skin.
Oh, you and your pickled Rick skins. You're a menace.
Dangerous.
You're a menace to the shop.
I mean, I just don't see where you're going to get the value out of the cluster charge.
I don't see where you're going to get the value in this round.
Like, the only thing I can think of is you could clear, if there was, which there isn't, you could clear a Banshee that could be on bottom main stairs using the cluster charge.
It's for clearing utility, isn't it?
But there isn't much
yeah.
utility that you can even if there was like the utility that you're thinking of, there isn't really going to be that anyway.
No, there's no significant utility underneath the hatch. Of course, you could use it to area clear. It brings a secondary heart breach, but so do a lot of other things now. It's just strange to see Kitchen and Dirt being the focus when Hibana's banned.
Just my opinion. I'm just not the fan. That's just it.
Is there a Valkyrie cam in Kitchen as well? I'm sure if there is, it would be a nightmare.
Generally, they get caught out very quickly. Because it's very easy to see. If you see a Valkyrie go in Kitchen, you bet your money there'll be a cam in there. And I think teams have obviously came very prepared for that. You know, look at these cluster charges. What is that actually doing?
Not a great deal.
See what I mean? Like,
Rorik's doing more. Takes Akwi down. Why Akwi's making his way down main stairs at this point in the round, God only knows. RWI going to smoke off for Nordwind just in case anyone decides to push the self down blue. Dirt tunnel has been open, so RWI does need to be cautious. Another fuse cluster charge goes down, followed by the hatch getting opened. But Hypex has been allowed to stay, and he's actually tucked himself in quite nicely there. Got a great angle onto the bottom of main stairs as Rorik doubles down, picks another up onto Gemini. Hypex, he doesn't have a C4 anymore, but he's primed and ready for any player that should drop, because I don't think that they know where he is, Demo. He's going to drop immediately into his lap, and that deters anyone else from making the same jump. Sorry finds one, but immediately is going to be traded out as Rorik starts the game as he, finishes the game as he started it, picking up yet another. A desperate Kitchen hatch drop potentially, Demo.
No, just
what are we watching?
Everything wrong with Mkers. Everything was wrong. Kitchen Dirt is the simplest take you can ever go for in this game, and I'm very headstrong about that. You control Kitchen, you open up the hatch, you go to Dirt, you open up the wall. You have to clear a tunnel, a simple tunnel which is just one way. You don't even have to clear Kitchen, because it's generally already cleared out. Like, who's sitting underneath Kitchen hatch? Nobody's going to do that. That's it, right? Few mistakes from Mkers, and it just shows that you need to play the basics well. First mistake. What the heck was Akwi doing at the bottom of main stairs, proning about like a slug? What was he doing? Instead of sitting at the bottom, holding that cross as safely as he can, no problems. Can't even clear Dirt. Can't even clear Dirt. Are you serious? I rest my case.
Another problem with that attack, and with any attack, is that as soon as you lose the first man, you're light in that area.
We call it the basement bloodbath for a reason.
Yeah.
Because it always comes down to a full 5v5.
Yeah.
Who wins the kills, wins the kills. If you're a defender or an attacker and you give away picks early without any trade-off, you will start to suffer, because the extra man makes such a massive difference.
It's worse for the attackers to give a man away, because then they lack pressure in that zone.
You have to remember with that basement, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 different ways into that site. You need to try and give yourself as many of those options as you can. If you're pushing from only 2 areas, generally it's quite easy. But as soon as there's a third avenue of approach from the attackers, that's whenever it gets desperate for defenders, and that's whenever they struggle, whenever they start getting hit on different fronts.
Unlimited are in a really good spot now here on Club. 5-2 as the score currently sits.
A bomb has been located.
Mkers, they've not got very many more chances, Demo.
I mean, they're 2 rounds away.
They've got a long way to climb back here. 3 flawless rounds before even giving away a match and series point.
Oh, and look where they are, Ollie. Look where they all are. Are they going to go for a rush? I hope not.
Certainly hope not.
Okay,
Jacuzzi has been opened. It's quite a low ace charge, but it does the job of shifting army out of the way.
The reason why you have that ace charge is 1, it still clears out the player inside of bathroom. It clears them out of the cubicle. And 2, it's an angle that the defenders cannot use. It's only the attackers. It's a one-way angle. Very, very strong for someone on the rappel.
Mkers. In the way in through CCTV and Cash side now.
Nobody's home in Cash.
Waiting for a little bit of drone work to catch up. Would be nice to get that construction wall open, but it by no means is a requirement at the minute. Gemini just seeing if he can find anybody and grab a pick on one of the windows, and they're looking to zone in on Nordwind, and, well, he will fall.
Oh, they fully reinforced construction wall. That's an issue, Ollie.
Akwi picks himself up a second. The C4 comes over the top, but it isn't going to be enough. Akwi, he's on a tear. Lolo shuts Hypex down. Mkers look like an entirely different team this round, Demo. They have stormed through everything. Flawless round.
Yeah, they fully reinforced construction walls, Ollie, and for what purpose? I assume it's to try and expect a full rush in from the bathroom side of things, but I think that was great decision making and good heads up thinking from Acqui specifically. Using the drone, seeing nobody's home at Cash, it was left like a ghost town, essentially by the defense. Seeing that the double wall is reinforced, it gives him a one-way fight. If you're walking through that construction door, the issue is you either have to challenge to the doorway or challenge to the breach, both of which you can get killed from one another, right? If you eliminate one of those, he's pushing one doorway, and that's so easy for him. Just, don't reinforce that wall, because that happens.
Well, Makers have done it once. Can they do it again and again?
Only time will tell.
Tune in. Find out. Find out next week.
We'll be back after these messages.
After the break.
I would have loved production just to actually put on
Imagine
the
they just
bumper.
throw the bumper break screen there.
Been great. Come on, production.
Now, we're probably getting a lot of trouble for that.
No.
10 seconds left
No.
before insertion.
Well.
5 seconds left.
Unlimited, are they going to go for the same setup again? It looks as though we're seeing a bit of a change on the Makers side demo. A full
Look at this.
5-man 6-pick. Glaz, Monty. It's a bold play, given the stakes.
You've resorted to this.
Oh dear. Oh, what a pick. Onto
Thermite.
the Thermite.
Right. Not the end all and be all, because they have Ace. But still something that's going to hit them. Not only losing the man, I think having Thermite to open up a big breach in Jacuzzi is a must. You also have to keep in mind that the reason why Thermite goes really well with Monty is Thermite opens up the entire of the wall so Monty can walk through. Ace has to use 2 Selmas to make a walk-through hole, which is what you're after as a Monty.
Yeah. We've already heard one of the Selmas used there on construction, but you can see that's all you get out of one. It's a hop through or a crouch through. Typically made as a hop through because it's a bit more consistent to make.
Located by attack.
I worry. I really do worry now for Makers.
I worry a little bit just with the general kit that you've got now as well. You're thinking about, okay, we've got the Glaz, we've got the Monty. What is the plan going to be? Because
He's
you've
going
got
down Logi. He's going down
to
Logi.
try and get that Monty in a meaningful way. We're going to see the drop come through. Norbwin finds one. Dora is able to take him out, however. Still advantage here for Dunlimited, but sorry, through the smoke is able to find one. Dunlimited, don't fall for this. It's one of the older tricks in the book. And so far, you had an advantage. A couple of off-site players here. RWI.
Worried.
Seeing if anybody's out on the balcony. Got to be a little bit concerned here. Look at all the info that Dora is able to provide here.
Outcomes.
Got a great idea of where all the utility is, knows that there's going to be a player in construction. If someone gets themselves onto that construction window, they could really cut them out of the fight here, and that would be a problem. Sorry, he's keeping his sights trained over on the Cash window, but for the meantime, we'll look for a rotation. Army, preoccupied with the breach, but really ought to be worried about the hatch drop. Makers aren't looking to rush this here. They know that they have the time to make sure that they don't make any silly mistakes. But Hypex has got a bit of a tough ask on his hands here. Picks himself one, but the Monty with the drop shield is good for yet another. Army and IWI now locked into the 2 versus 2. Army just gets himself away from that engagement. There's so much info available on the site. We do have the bulletproofs. But if Doro can drop the diffuser and maybe block things off here, it could be a different story. Army target prioritization is on point. What have we just seen? What have we just seen from Dora?
4 kills is what you've seen.
He's dropped the shield again, Demo.
Both of them.
How?
Trapped in construction. Speechless.
Oh dear. That's a tilter, if ever you've seen one.
I didn't want to say anything whenever the round was being played out. Looking at that, whenever the drop came in from Logi, and it was into the 3 versus 3, and I was looking, right, we seen Hypex by himself inside a gym, and I was really worried because I seen that the other 2 players were sat in Cash. For what purpose?
So lost.
For what purpose?
I don't know why they didn't just make a rotation up main.
Why was there 2 of them?
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
You're leaving Hypex in the bear pit against the Monty.
10 seconds.
You have to remember the biggest issue with Monty is as soon as he drops the shield, it is an audible sound cue. You know whenever he's done that. And whenever he drops the shield, you pre-fire him to all heck. Whenever that D-shield happened from the Monty, why? There needed to be somebody with Hypex to refrag.
I am going to go through the game file and I want to watch that from everyone's POV, from Army's POV, just to see what went wrong, what happened there. Army and IWI. Put them on fraud watch. Put them on it.
And they're back, this time, with a different operator. The Sens! I'm seeing a Sens in my screen! So...
Well, you said don't leave anything in the Google Drive.
Well, Sens makes an appearance. Sens, where do we begin with them? First of all, is a 1-speed. Straight away, was always the issue with them. Was for me, whenever I thought the kit was nice, I think a really cool idea of an operator, but 1-speed. As we know, next season, not anymore, 3-speed next season. Oh, wait till we see the Sens gameplay change then. But for the meantime, still very slow, very sluggish. The good thing that I can see happen for this basement push is you can basically cut off a full strip down the main corridor, which is dangerous to have.
What a trick.
Very good trick. But yeah, Sens can be great for going down bottom main stairs and just cover off the entire corridor for the easy drop in towards kitchen hatch. So that is where you can really use the Sens to great effect. Rorik! What a pick! Lolo's doing it. This is the thing. Lolo's playing Buck, and Lolo is opening the floor the safe way, where you go to the top floor inside of office and you buck through 2 sets of floors as to not be C4'd. What does Rorik do? He shoots him in the head. That's the safe way, apparently.
Well, if you can't get it open the safe way, hate to think how we would get it open the dangerous way. Dora, are you going to risk an exothermic onto the kitchen hatch, or are you going to think better of it? Not only have you lost Lolo, but you've also lost with him one of the hard breach gadgets. You do still have one in Sorry's hands, so could look to try and make that work, but even then, what's the plan beyond?
They've also lost the Buck, so that means they cannot open up the Ashwall rush.
Well, it's already open a little bit, I think.
But it's not
what
enough for a run
C4.
through.
That's it. Honestly, single doorway, single window. Get ready for some hell of bloodbath siege, because that's what we're about to see. Sens is going to place the barrier, but I don't think he's going to do all too much there. You don't peek that after you hear a glass. There is a saying in Siege, and that is that we do not peek glass.
Look at that wall.
The diffuser
Wow.
cold on the ground, the wall not doing much at all, and immediately Army shuts down. Sorry, Hypex finds one as well. A flawless for Unlimited to send them onto match and series point.
Yeah, horrific attack, has to be said. From Mkers, just... What was it? Get Wild back in. The Wild, you're not as bad as what I thought. Get them back in.
This is for a spot in the finals, Demo. This is for €2,500. What are we witnessing?
I don't know. Like, Mkers today, there's been some great rounds, but some rounds I'm just thinking, what are you doing? That's what it really... the decision-making from Mkers today, I think, has been below standard for their caliber.
Yeah.
Big time. You have to remember everyone, right? If we were to look at Mkers versus Unlimited at the start of the year, Unlimited weren't even existing.
No.
Right? There should be a clear gap between Mkers and Unlimited. There should be. But it's not happening. And we're sitting here and you're probably thinking, oh, well, you know, give credit to Unlimited. Unlimited have done exceptionally well, and we can't ask any more of them. What they've already achieved, Ollie, in this competition has been miraculous.
The best in the world.
It has been. And anything they do after this, it's just, wow, you know, you've already impressed us. You don't need to do anything else.
The thing is, you ask any team that gets into Challenge League or any competition, are you going to win the whole thing? And they will all say yes, because they self-believe. They believe in themselves, and you can't doubt yourself going into something like this. However, if you'd have asked us who we thought would have won, we wouldn't have said that Dunlimited would make a miraculous run through the lower bracket, which is about to happen. They're one round away from going flawless inside of the lower bracket. That doesn't happen, period, let alone here inside a Challenger League.
It's back.
The Monty's back.
It's back.
The match point Monty, the panic Monty.
Oh.
It's not quite a panic. We've seen it a couple of times, but I'd be quaking in my boots.
I feel ill.
I'd be quaking in my boots if I was Dunlimited, because they have just been done by this Monty only a couple of rounds ago. You got to hope for their sake that they don't let it happen again. Dora already knows that he got away with murder. Surely, Demo. Surely. We don't see it happen twice.
Also, they won that round by losing the Thermite from a spawn peak.
Yeah. That was a scary thing.
That's another thing you have to take consideration. They did it with not a lot to play off. This time they're all alive. The walls are being opened by the Thermite. Unlimited. Last time you sat in cash for no reason. No reason at all. You need more people in sight if things do hit the pan. Look at Hypex. He's in strip club right now, Ollie.
Oh dear.
Oh, he's
dead.
been caught out. Had to be a pre-placed. 100% there's a pre-placed cam inside a strip club. 110 million%. It's probably up in one of the corners beside the speakers. That's where it would be. Somewhere in there. I think there's one. Is it the southwest corner? I think you can get a really nice drone up it. Somewhere in there, there's probably something. It's really nice. It's a good drone. But yeah, that's 100% the pre-placed. And that's going to pay off massively for Mkers. Having the opening pick onto Hypex, yeah.
Aside from that, not a lot else has happened. Unlimited showcasing us this very steady style of Siege that they can and are capable of playing. We are going to see the smokes come through now into Logi. This was where we got the Doc drop last time. Sorry, the Monty drop last time, and it is where we are likely going to see Glaz try and pick off a couple of shots here as well. Dora, he's going to get himself into the action, looking to Drow try and buddy up as a couple of flashes come through. Kill's going to trade back and forth, but Rorik activates the glasses and is able to take Lolo out on those main stairs. An equal 3 versus 3. Construction control gained. This time, no players dilly-dallying inside of Cash. Instead, they've rotated, they've got themselves into Jim. A nice swing there leads Gemini to be downed as Dora takes a good chunk of damage as well. We are frozen at probably the worst moment possible. Any clue as to what's happened? What?
Anyone?
Game crash on our side. So the game has crashed. Now we need to decide if it was an observer crash or was it an entire game lobby crash.
Find out next week.
Roll
credits.
Time. Well, judging by those players, they ain't playing.
Did this not happen to us last year with M&M?
Goodness.
Did this not happen last year with us? I swear this happened last year. 100% I'm pretty sure this happened to us last year. Remember it was Nello. Nello was about to clutch up in Gym. And then the game crashed. I didn't even remember that. Am I going insane? I swear I've seen this before.
I do remember. I've seen this movie. I've seen it.
We sat through this. This is the remake.
I've played the game. Is it?
I don't know what's happened.
We're actually waiting for confirmation of who won.
Well, get them on the lie detector test. Get them hooked up. Well,
there's nothing we can do to Unlimited one. What a way to win.
do the background thing, production. Do the victory screen if they. I don't know. Is that what we do now? I don't know.
Honestly, I'm going to give you the line.